Hi, I'm Jazz Rose, author of Teaching Primary PE and CEO at JNC Education. So it's September, welcome back to school, welcome back to teaching, welcome back to doing what we love, which is inspiring and embedding pupils' passions for lifelong learning. So how do we do that? We had a professional development day yesterday and we spoke a little bit about learning environments and how we create successful learning environments. One of the biggest challenges that teachers often face is behaviour for learning. How do we create that positive culture where students listen and ultimately we can optimise learning time? So what I want to take you through today is a couple of simple strategies that we can use in order to optimise learning time and ensure a positive culture, behaviour for learning in our classrooms and around the school building. So what techniques can we use in order to refocus pupils? Because often they're doing a dynamic, engaging and challenging task where they're really immersed in the learning. How do we quickly and effectively refocus their attention back on the teacher? So there's a couple of techniques that many of us use and used before. So really there's two types, there's verbal and non-verbal. So for example, a verbal one might be a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is that perfect? Is that a perfect model of how to do a countdown? Or is there something that we can implement in order to ensure that it's done effectively? When I was doing a professional development day yesterday, I asked one of the newbies to come along and show how they would refocus the group, and that's exactly what they did. But what happens in between that? Can we implement some praise for some of the pupils? So 5, 4, Sophie's doing really well, good sitting, well done. 2, I want everybody's pens down, eyes and ears on me. 1, well done Jack. 0, excellent behaviour, well done. And that's how we set it up. That's how we can really instill a positive learning culture, rather than sort of closing our eyes and going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and then telling pupils off for not following or completing the command before 0. Another one that we can use, another verbal one, is 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, and then the pupils can call back, 1, 2, eyes on you. Everyone is paying attention. Everyone's focused, it's brilliant, we can then carry on with the learning journey. So what about non-verbal refocusing strategies? What can we do? So a lot of teachers nowadays, it's clap and repeat, and everyone does it, and everyone's silent. It's a very, very dynamic and engaging way to bring the children back, and especially like in music lessons, they can play a certain rhythm, or they can do something cool. And another physical thing that we can do is copy my actions, isn't it? I really like the one where we go heads, shoulders, hips. Brilliant. All of the children focused, engaged, watch my next teaching instruction, how can I immerse them further in the learning journey? It's brilliant. But one of the things that I find that teachers often a common misconception amongst teachers is where we use the wrong technique at the wrong time. Yeah, have we seen this? So yesterday we were doing a professional development day, which was really fun but really interesting. And it's not something that's unique. It happens quite a lot. You know, I asked them to write down something on their whiteboard, so all the people were in pairs and they're writing down something on the whiteboard. So refocus the class, and then they did the clapping technique, didn't they? And most of them did it, but I said, Jane, was that a little bit difficult? Yeah, why? Because I've got a whiteboard in my hand. So you've got to do the appropriate technique at the right time in order to help optimise the learning and minimise low-level disruption. Okay? So what we concluded in our behaviour for learning session yesterday was that when they're doing something physical, and what I mean by that, when they've got something physical in their hand or they're dealing with something tangible, it's often best to use, when they're doing something physical, it's often best to use a verbal signal, or at least start with a verbal signal. Count down, okay, I want your pens and boards down on the floor, I want your eyes and ears on me, in 3, 2, 1, 0, well done. That might be a better example than starting with clapping, which then requires them to do something else, which might be to put the whiteboards down first, or remove any physical objects before they join in. And when they're doing something verbal, then it's a good idea, and often a good idea, to start with something physical. Okay? So if they're talking to their partner, then you might initiate the clapping technique, and then they all can respond, they can pay attention, they can have their eyes and ears on you. Another thing, just to add on to this, is really, you've got to be really clear and concise about exactly what you want the children to do. Fidgeting's a big thing, isn't it? That we see in schools. Children are fidgeting, they're touching themselves, they're touching one another. How do we avoid that? We foreground it. We preempt what they're going to do and really focus on the positive thing that we want them to do. So instead of saying, Charlie, stop scratching your knees, or Charlie, stop fidgeting, you go, eyes and ears on me, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me, 1, 2, eyes on you, hands on knees. Well done, sitting up straight. We foreground it. If their hands are on their knees, they can't fidget. If you want them to sit down, I often use the hands on knees because it's a very safe and consistent place that we can ask people to put their hands so that they don't fidget and they're not encouraged to do anything that we've not asked them to do. Or if you're on tables, hands on tables is a very clear and effective way to demonstrate that. Also avoids a little bit of slouching, and we would like pupils to sit up and be fully attentive on what we're doing, don't we? So that's our behaviour for learning strategy. I hope you found that useful. Do feel free to share. Do feel free to drop a comment. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love it.